Shalom. First and foremost, soon to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rukaha Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught me this truth, peace, blessings, salutations, and mercies to the elect and the one-third remnant out there listening and doing this word with all faith and sincerity scattered amongst the nations and the four corners of the earth. To you, I say Shalom, Lord willing. This video is edifying. It's going to be centered around this post that you see on the screen, and I'm gonna just read a couple of articles or a couple of slides from it, and get some precepts to go with it. And it says how the CIA built gangs and divided a whole community, right? Some people say gangs were never meant to be violent. Back in the 60s and 70s, they were community shields, groups built to defend neighborhoods when nobody else would. Kids found pride, unity, and safety in each other. But then the CIA stepped in and everything flipped, right? Because when you go back into the origins of these gangs that you see today, they started off as community defense organizations, okay? Because during the time they were created, Esau was terrorizing Jake, going into Jake neighborhoods, burning down homes, okay? Lynching and killing innocent men, women, and children. Race riots, right? These things were hurting Jake bad, okay? And the police and the military were not protecting Jake. More likely than not, they were participating in it, right? They were helping Esau destroy Jake community. So in return, Jay came up with movements like the Black Panther Party and these gangs that you see today. All right. But then Esau had to intervene, okay, using his cunning, his deception, right? According to old street stories, things changed in the 80s when mysterious crates started showing up in certain neighborhoods, crates filled with things people there never ordered. Drugs, brand new weapons, supplies worth more than the whole block. Nobody knew who dropped them off. Nobody claimed them, but the streets felt the impact overnight, right? Because they got into the wrong hands, okay? And it's no secret that crack cocaine was created in a laboratory in Southern California on a college campus. I want to say USC, right? And it was then pushed to Jake neighborhoods to perform the purposes that it performed, right? Which is to hook people on drugs and destroy the community. All right, the same groups that once defended their people suddenly had to deal with new opportunities. Money came fast, trouble came faster, territories turned into battlegrounds, and in the shadows, the CIA was watching it all unfold like a test, not stopping it, just observing it, because they were behind it. Okay, they sowed the discord. Okay, they created the division, and they gave them the means to go at each other's throats. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, how many times do we see this happen in other countries, just on the larger scale? Divide and conquer. It's not a new tactic, While the chaos grew, the news told a different story. They didn't talk about how the communities got flooded. They didn't talk about the mystery shipments. Instead, they showed gangs as mindless villains. Movies, music, headlines, are all pushing the same idea. This is who they are, violent and destructive, but people in their neighborhoods knew that's not how it started. Right. But when you look at them today, they have totally been used by Esau to help destroy Jake. Okay, because they are oppressors of their own people. They only pick on the weak. Okay, when they bang, you look at gang bangers today, they don't bang on anybody who come through their neighborhood. Only people that look like them, so-called Negroes and Latinos. All right, that's all who they target. Because if a white man came in their neighborhood, they not pressing. They not loking up and banging. You know, showing you the programmed hatred for themselves, man. They've been programmed to do that, right? So they started off being defenders of the community against Esau, and they ended up being on Esau's side. Funny how that worked. Old heads say this wasn't an accident. They believe someone wanted the unity gone. They wanted the race to be divided, angry, and fighting each other instead of asking questions. And the craziest part, the moment the damage was done, the mysterious crates stopped appearing, the shadows went quiet, and the story was burned or buried. Right? And this isn't, I've heard the same thing happening in Chicago and everything, man. Crates and shipments. My question is, how did all these YNs get switches? They never stopped. So this guy's a little incorrect on that part. They haven't stopped. How these 14, 12, 13-year-olds end up with these automatic weapons? And why does the music and the movies promote violence towards each other? Because that's what Esau wants them to do. Okay? That's how they're controlling you, and it's time to break free from them. We finally revealed the true way to fight freedom, or true way to freedom. Thousands have been freed through it, and the rest of this is some bullshit, right? The rest of this is some bullshit, because the only way to become free is through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, eating this roll, right? That's how you free yourself from this psychological warfare, all right? So you're going to get some scriptures. This is Proverbs 24 and we'll start at 1. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them, right? And that was what Martin Luther King came in and he pushed, right? The desire to sit with them, right? The desire to be amongst them and to be included amongst them when they've been nothing but evil. Okay? All out of what? Envy. Because he wanted what they had, right? Instead of wanting better. Okay? Wanting to be free. He wanted to be accepted. Right? And that's the spirit that a lot of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have put on. For their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. Right? That's exactly. Esau has studied regime change and ways to pin different peoples against each other. I mean, he's mastered it. Destabilization tactics, right? He perfected it, and he did a lot of it with Jake first, right? He did it with the so-called Native Americans. He infiltrated them and pitted them against each other, let them fight it out, duke it out, right? Destroy each other, and then he came when the whichever tribe came out on top, he came and fought them while they were already depleted, right? From the wars in which they had suffered from their own people. And that's the same exact thing this devil does now. And, this gang culture is another example of it. He's completely weaponized that against Jake, right? Keeping Jake docile, keeping Jake not knowing who their real enemy is, right? Here it is, a nigga bang on you and call you an op and an enemy just because you live 2-3 miles away from him, right? But you grew up the same, got the same struggle, look the same, but then the so-called white man, he ain't got no problem with, man. Oh, that's the white homie, right? Backwards as hell, man. Backwards as hell. Completely mind fucked. Not even understanding that what they are supposed to be a part of, right? And this original intent was something completely different. They've forgotten who their enemy was. This is Isaiah 51:20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of Yahweh Shemel Shah, the rebuke, thy power. Right. Niggas on a block, angry. You can't even make eye contact with niggas, man. You're an unfamiliar face. Now, this nigga wanna bang on you. He wanna get cracking. Now he wanna phase you. Or he might shoot you. If you answer wrong or if you don't answer. Right? Jake has completely lost it. And it's all at the hands of Esau. Esau has a lot to pay for it. Okay? To this day, you see the effects of what he's done, man. This is Isaiah 1:6. From the sole of the foot, even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruising and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Right, there's been no healing. Since we've been in this captivity, there has been no healing. The wounds have just gotten deeper and deeper and deeper. More and more and more has been done. There's been no time for recovery. That's why Jake is in a condition that we're in. That's why we need Yahweh Shah, man. We don't have a chance without the Lord coming back to redeem us and to deliver us from this. Okay? We are very much well on our way to being extinct as a people. We've already been, eradicated culturally and spiritually, save the elect. All right? Since slavery, this nigga has not gave us a break, okay, at all. Matter of fact, he's only gotten worse with it because at first it was physical, but now it's psychological. Now he fucking with your head. Scriptures say, give me any plague but the plague of the mind. Jake is plagued in the mind because of this devil and all his propaganda and all his coercion and all his deceit, right? Jake don't know what the fuck is going on, right? So this devil, he has to pay, man. This is Psalms 50:19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil and thy tongue frameth deceit, right? He's completely turned, really it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah, because they're not, the only thing that's not going to be overturned is this truth, all right? Because it's built upon that rock in Yahweh Shai, right? But the original intent behind this was for the liberation of Jake, and look what it's turned into, right? Look what he's turned into, man. It's honestly amazing. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son, right? And the whole objective is to just fucking, point the finger, keep us in sin, right? Keep us looking like the bad guy, all right? That, a lot of things, Jake gets invalidated because of the way he's made us out to be, right? So now Jake's opinion don't even matter because Jake is completely accepted and been made to believe that they're second class, not even second, third class citizens, right? Your opinion don't even matter because look at what you're doing. Look at how you acting, right? So it's almost, and that's his justification. So nobody even feels bad, right? Nobody considers it because, well, look at y'all, right? You think the Lord is going to keep sitting back and just letting this shit happen? You out your goddamn mind. The Lord's he's going to send his son, Yahweh Shai, to deliver us from out of this, man. Because we're praying and we're calling on those names and, we're begging the Lord to come and save us, man. This is Obadiah 1:10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob shall cover. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. That is the end result of everything Esau has, because that's what he's done to us. He's attempted to cut us off forever. Okay? Anytime Jake unites in any type of way, he sends his agents of Satan to come in and try to infiltrate and divide it and change it. He's even done it with the truth. But the thing is, the Lord didn't put this truth out for everybody to get it. Only a select few. Okay? And Judas was made as an example for a reason because, that is going to happen again. Okay? There are Judases. But at the end of the day, this truth is going to prevail. We're not like this, the Blood and Crip thing or the Black Panther Party thing or, the Nation of Islam. We're not like none of that, because what we stand upon is firm. So yeah, he could come with it, but guess what? It's not gonna prevail against us. Okay? And at the end of the day, he's gonna have to pay the piper. All right? Because he is responsible for all of this. Okay? And it's gonna get worse too. At the end of the day, he's gonna persecute us, and he's gonna go back to his old ways. So with honor, give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Shem, El Shabbat, Shem, the Kakodash, Wild Bob, Ball, and DTA, DTN.